Caregivers, are you and the person you care for not satisfied with your current home care agency? Then you need to call Help at Home, as we offer the highest paid wages, weekly pay, overtime pay, benefits, and do not forget paid time off. Help at Home is actively recruiting caregivers who are caring for a loved one. We make changing agencies quick and easy. Call one of our care professionals now at 412-784-6711. That's 412-784-6711, or go to helpathomepA.com.
Hey, it's Christine from Storyworthy. Today on the show, actor Danny Pardo talks about what happened to his business after 9/11.
I sold everything I had in Argentina. I sold my furniture, computer, car, everything, and everything that I had was invested in this company. The distribution was about importing and distributing cookies. And I remember this day, 8:45 a.m., I am downloading a 40-foot container of cookies, and I'm watching the TV. And I remember the first image of the tower on fire, and then the second tower gets hit. And in my mind goes, uh-oh, this is the beginning of the end of my company.
Today on the show, actor Danny Pardo shares a story about starting over after 9/11. Stay close.
Ciao bello, come stai? Tutto a posto? Questo è Danny Pardo e stai ascoltando Storyworthy. Hey guys, this is Danny Pardo and you're listening to Storyworthy.
Welcome to Storyworthy. My name is Christine Blackburn, and I'm coming to you from Los Angeles, California. Whether you're a longtime fan of the show or a new listener, welcome to Storyworthy. I hope you guys enjoyed the show last week with comedian Kelly Spillman. Danny, I don't know if you heard Kelly's story, but she talks about thwarting a robbery at Subway.
Oh, wow.
She was working at a Subway, making sandwiches, as you'll do, and two guys were going to rob them. And that's all I'm going to say. You got to go back and listen.
And listen to it. I will.
Super, super entertaining story. So go back and listen to that, you guys. But not today, because today I'm here with actor Danny Pardo, and he brings forth the topic, starting over after 9/11. And, you know, I guess everybody has their story.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
So it's like, well, I say that, although people under 20, they don't have a story.
That's true.
or under 25.
Or they have a different experience.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a different experience. Maybe they saw their parents watching this TV screen or crying or something, like the way we might have. Well, I'm not that old. I wasn't around when Kennedy was shot, but you know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
the relationship to that event is different if you experience it than you read or saw it as an event in history.
Of course, yes. And my daughter, you know, they learn about it in history class.
Yes.
You know, my daughter's in 7th grade, and it's unbelievable, you know, that it could have been that long ago, almost 20 years ago. And I don't know. I mean, my experience, you know, since I was here in LA, you know, I remember the phone ringing early in the morning, and we ignored it, and then it rang again, and then we ignored it, and then it rang again, and we knew something was wrong. And my ex-husband's father was on the end of the line, and he's the one that said, you know, turn on the TV or whatever. But the rest of that day, I mean, we watched what was happening, but, you know, we're here in LA, 77 degrees, you know what I mean?
Yes.
I had to take some headshots over to my agent in the Valley, and we just carried on.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's a reflective experience, but, like, I'm just thinking directly what happened when we first saw the TV. What happened immediately? I made a coffee cake, and then we went and took my headshots to my agent.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't very dramatic.
Well,
I mean,
you had to do what you had to do that day.
That day. No, but in reflecting, you know, yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know. I'm not from New York. I mean, as a country, of course, I was as shocked as anybody else. And I remember George Bush, for a second there, seemed to be speaking rationally. I mean, for a minute, you know, his anger and fervor against Iraq, like we all wanted to place blame.
Yes.
I remember that. although it was misplaced. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I'm anxious to hear your story.
I'll share it with you.
I'm excited for that. But listen, before we get to your story, first of all, your IMDb page goes on for like 5 pages.
Well, thank you.
You have a long career.
Short, I'd say,
Short.
comparatively by how old I am.
Yeah.
Because I started very late,
But-
which I'll share with you.
Yeah.
It's within my story.
But for the fact that you've just done so much in such a short
period of time. I
mean,
was very fortunate, yes.
Even I look at your website, DannyPardo.com, and I just can't get over the amount of roles you've played. It's so impressive.
Thank you.
You're such an actor by heart. I have a lot of comedians on the show, not as many actors, and so
Got it.
we were in a little film together.
Yes,
I don't know
we
if you
did.
Remember that?
2007.
2007.
Yes, we
Little
shot that. And we
film.
had a lot of. That's actually where our relationship started.
Yeah.
That is
not our
12
affair. Our affair was
No,
after
our
that.
affair is a whole different thing. It keeps on going, you know. Yeah, it's been 12 years
I
that
know,
we
that's
worked together.
amazing.
So
Hey, you know what is so exciting about the last 12 years? First of all, I have a child, as you know, and you have a perfect baby girl.
Thank
you guys
you.
might hear her in the background, Mila. She's just a little tiny pea pod. Now, you do know like several different languages, right? You, of course.
yes, I was. My background is a mutt. If you allow me to share, I was
Yeah.
born in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Yeah, in Argentina.
My parents were born in Sarajevo, which is ex-Yugoslavia, or today would be Bosnia. But my grandmother, my mom's side, is Italian, and on my dad's side, on my grandfather's side, family comes from Spain. So I'm a mutt.
You have a whole mix.
A whole mix of European, Italian, Spaniard,
Spanish,
Yugoslavian, and
Mediterranean.
Yeah, because the Spaniards that come from Spain, they come also from the Mediterranean. So
Yeah.
being born in Buenos Aires, which is Argentina, South America, we have the Latin culture. Like I grew up with that and the European influence. So I'm a mutt.
Do you think being this mutt has enabled you to get cast a hell of a lot because you're like ambiguous?
Yes, I was able to play a variety or a palette of roles from the moment I started.
You've also done a lot of straight up commercials, and I mean, and
Yes.
I've done a lot of commercials too, but you've done like Ford, McDonald's, Disney,
Yeah.
Time Warner. You've done these big ones.
Yes.
And are they saying to you, hey, Danny Pardo, we want the Portuguese Danny Pardo?
You know what's very interesting? Majority of the times, what has happened is that, say they wanted me to do an American accent, but once they started hearing my accent, they were like, no, just do yours.
Yeah.
Just don't change anything.
Yeah.
It's like whatever I was speaking, if it was intelligible or something
Yeah.
like that, they wanted to go with that.
Yeah.
And they're like the Progresso commercial, they asked me to do as American as possible, so I got coaching and I did whatever I did.
Yeah, you do what you have to do.
Yeah, exactly.
I see those coaching flyers around, like we'll coach the accent.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes. In my case, for example, say there's a paragraph.
Yeah.
Like I did impersonate Geraldo Rivera
Right.
for a
Oh my
movie
gosh,
that
it's
it's
so
coming
funny.
out.
The Nicole and OJ
The Nicole
movie.
and OJ movie, yes.
Yeah.
And Geraldo Rivera does not have a Hispanic accent, despite
Right.
the fact that he has a Puerto Rican background.
Yeah.
And I had to do my lines, and I got coached by a coach, and I had to do my lines with Geraldo Rivera's accent.
And
you will hear, or
I can't wait to
whatever
hear that.
whatever I said came
Yeah.
out as
Yeah.
Geraldo Rivera's accent. So and that's what happens. If they want me to do some sort of American accent, I
Yeah.
get coaching for
Yeah.
that scene or my lines, and
Yeah.
I can do the American accent.
And you got
but
French in you
normally,
too.
oui, je parle un petit,
Wow.
mon amour.
I wish I spoke different languages. I really do. People say to me sometimes they wish they played an instrument because I play
Oh my God, I wish I
guitar
could
and
play an
piano and stuff.
instrument. Yes.
If I could have your languages, you could have some of my musical
I
ability.
love to.
And then we could switch off.
I love to.
All right, you guys, let's get right to Danny's story. But before we do, I wanted to remind you guys to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Storyworthy. You know that. And why not join my mailing list? I think some of you have forgotten that I have a mailing list. And not only is it a mailing list, it's a very, very good mailing list. I spent a lot of time on it. I think you'll like it. Why not, you guys? Check out my mailing list.
Yes.
And all you got to do is head over to storyworthypodcast.com. It's just that simple. All the information's there. And also, why not check out Screwed Up Stories, my other podcast. And don't forget about Story Smash, the storytelling.
Screwed Up Stories?
Screwed Up Stories, yeah.
Love that.
That's on Westwood One. I do it with co-host Rachel O'Brien. And it's basically all females that screw up.
Oh my God.
Because no matter how old, whatever generation you're at, whether you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, all women, we all seem to screw up in the same way.
Okay, I'm very interesting to find out.
That's what we talk about. ScrewedUpStories.com. Also, you guys, check out Story Smash, the storytelling game show. Super fun, going really well down at the Improv every single month. Head over to StorySmashShow.com and check that out. All right, you guys, Danny Pardo's here right now, like you know. He's an actor, like we said, and you did do a role impersonating Geraldo Rivera.
I did, yes.
On the movie Nicole and OJ. Now, which movie is this one, Nicole and OJ?
Nicole and OJ is a very confronting movie, meaning it will challenge what already people know about the OJ case.
Yeah.
It presents the what if everything that happened to OJ was a setup just because he's a black guy.
Oh my God. And
although here in Los Angeles, a vast majority of people, they believe that he committed what he committed, this movie just challenges that. And
what is it? Challenge that he beat his wife?
Well, no, it challenges the fact that who are the prosecutors and the lawyers and the investigators and the cops, they were behind him and they were setting him up just because he was black.
Wow.
And it has comedy, but it's not a comedy for everybody. It's not a stupid pie in the face type of comedy. But
is it a dark comedy?
Yes.
So it's compelling, but it's also funny.
It's funny, it's compelling, and it's very challenging.
Because he is a murderer, are we right?
I'm not going to say he's or he's not. Just watch the movie, and that will challenge what the status quo says. And anytime that the status quo is challenged, there's a lot of revolt going around. That's the reason this movie wasn't shot here in Los Angeles. We shot it in Bulgaria.
Oh my God! Interesting.
So we flew.
How long did you stay over there?
Over a week to shoot that, and they stayed a month and a half.
They were there a month and a half.
Yes,
yeah, because you're just the reporter doing the one little.
Well, I have a couple of scenes, and
did you watch a bunch of Geraldo Rivera to get the tone, or?
Yes. I watched all his episodes. Oh my God! And yes, I did.
Did you ever think you would play him?
No.
Bizarre.
It was very interesting because I knew the director from before, and he approached me and offered me the role, but he asked me to audition for it.
Yeah.
So
well, that's all right. Fair enough.
Yes, absolutely.
You felt good about it. Yeah.
Yes, and he felt very comfortable, and he was like, yeah. So they flew us all out there to Bulgaria. Yeah.
You have also played a lot of. It seems you've played a lot of cops, lieutenants, detectives, also priests.
Yes.
You've also played a lot of salsa dancers.
I did.
You've played a couple of those.
I did, yes.
And you've been in TV shows here in America like SEAL Team, The Shield, Prison Break, 24, All My Children. You've just done a lot of different stuff on television, and then you've also done a lot of films, like you just finished Walk to Vegas with Vince Van Patten.
Which the title now changed to 7 Days to Vegas.
Oh, that's right. It's called 7 Days to Vegas.
Yes. I got to change it on my website, probably.
I saw it both ways. I saw it when it was called Walk to Vegas at one film festival, and then I saw it at another film festival, and it had changed. I like 7 Days to Vegas better myself.
As a title?
Yeah, 7 Days to Vegas, because that is exactly what the bet is.
Yeah, exactly.
I just had Vince Van Patten here on Storyworthy as well. That. And we were talking about it. And, that's the bet. Can you walk from Los Angeles to Vegas in 7 days? 7 Days to Vegas. I think it's a great premise.
And you know why?
I love that movie, man.
It's a fun movie.
It's
a really fun movie. It's a fact. When you search for movies, it's at the end of the listing. So marketing-wise, if you put a number, it will show up first.
That's
you
so smart.
Alphabetically,
Yeah,
It's convenient.
I had a friend. This is years ago, before like internet porn even. But she had a webcam, or maybe it was internet. But anyway, her point is her name was like Madeline, but she had to go by, Ariel, because she needs to be at the front of the alphabet. Because when men are
Exactly.
looking for porn, they ain't getting past the A's. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yep.
So
I
all
get
the
it.
all
When
the
you get to
porn
the
stars,
B's, your hand is tired. That's what you mean?
all the web girls are they're all Amy, Andrea,
Yeah.
Angie.
There you go.
Angel. Anyway, you guys, find Danny over at his website, DannyPardo.com, and also they're over on Twitter at Danny Pardo. All right, you guys, wherever you are, put your hands together for Danny Pardo.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, hi there. I am Danny Pardo, and my little story is as follows. I was born, as I said before, in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, and I do have 2 degrees. I have a BA in marketing and a BA in business, and I did 15 years of business before an opportunity showed up for me to move to United States and partner up with a French guy to open up a distribution company. The distribution was about importing and distributing cookies. So I sold everything I had in Argentina. I couldn't sell my apartment because it was a fast decision, but I rented my apartment to a couple of friends, and I sold my furniture, computer, car, everything, and everything that I had was invested in this company. I moved early 2001.
What kind of cookies?
There were sweet cookies, time of tea cookies, coconut flavor, strawberry flavor, the Maria flavor. And then we had an assorted of type of Belgium cookies. And obviously we had a range of ancillary products. Given the fact that we were based in South Florida, crocodiles are very common in South Florida. So we had, instead of the gummy bears, we have the crocodile gummies.
Yeah, alligator gummies, yeah.
There you go, alligator gummies. Thank you. And the alligator chocolates, and we had gums, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So we started our business distributing client by client, and I would go on the road and knock on doors and doing the pitching and the selling, and we started selling each individual pharmacy store, Walgreens, CVS. Back then in South Florida, you had Eckerd and Navarro's and different supermarkets. So we did what we called an ant type of work, one by one, slowly. So we started in January selling $6,000 of product, and we got to August to sell $65,000. So we multiplied in 8 months by 10 our business. We had to double the size of our warehouse because cookies is a volume business. So we started importing over a container and a half of cookies a month. What we did is, because we were so successful with that, we were able to be in so many stores in CVS and Walgreens that Walgreens and CVS opened a purchase order to us to start supplying their distribution warehouse. So instead of us doing the job of going store by store, we already went into just delivering the container to their warehouse. So our ant work was paying off, because in August and early September, we already sold $25,000 each on cookies.
Wow.
So we received a 40-foot container, we split it in 2, and we went to their warehouse.
From where?
We were importing from Holland, from Turkey, from different places where actually it was convenient and the price was affordable. So we gave them the opportunity to sell 2 packs of 8 ounces each for $1, when we were selling these to them for 60 cents. So they were making $40 per every dollar they sold. It was a great margin for them. So the moment we sell those cookies, we deliver those cookies, September 11 comes. And I remember this day, 8:45 a.m., I am downloading a 40-foot container of cookies, full of cases. And I'm watching the TV. And I remember the first image of the tower on fire, and then the second tower gets hit. And in my mind goes, this is the end. This is the beginning of the end of my company. And I don't know why that was my first thought. But talking afterwards with my partner said, yeah, no worries. Listen, we are in the right business because people, what we'll do is they will stay home, but they will still need to buy food. And in their basket of products, they'll have cookies. So we are in the right business. I'm like, oh, okay. What actually happened, because South Florida mainly is a tourism industry, or no, tourism economy. All tourism from South Florida disappeared. So stores that depend on tourists, they saw their sales disappear and vanished. And we stopped selling because people were not buying from us. But what's worse is that if you have an idea of the timeline, September 11, a month and a half later, it's October 31st. And if you have a sense, already by mid of September, 20th of September, you have all the Halloween products on shelves to be sold for Halloween, which means that all these pharmacies, I mean CVS, Walgreens, and all the product, all our clients had already put themselves in debt for Halloween when they purchased these, early August. So I had to visit all my clients individually to see what was going on, and I swear by November 15, probably 60 or 70% of whatever they bought for Halloween was still in their stores. They didn't sell anything of it. So what happened is these big companies, they had to refinance their debt with Coca-Cola, with Cadbury's, with the people that provided their, pumpkins and the costumes and all these, because they didn't sell anything. But they also refinanced themselves with people like me that we were tiny. We were supplying them only $25,000 in our first purchase, which is peanuts for them.
Yeah.
But it was everything for us because we didn't have capital. We only have 15, 30 days of cash flow to pay everything cash. And they stopped paying me. They started, not picking up the phones. They stopped, answering what we wanted, which was getting paid.
Because they had already ordered it.
They already ordered. The product was already there.
It.
They delivered. And usually we were receiving the payment like religiously every 15, 30 days. And with that money, we were able to pay cash the commissions, the lease of the warehouse, the payments for the delivery vans, the insurance, the salaries,
sure.
the containers. Everything was paid cash. And we did not have a credit line because we just opened 8 months ago. So when CVS stops paying me $25,000 and Walgreens stops paying me $25,000, my $50,000 that I needed to pay to buy and, to keep on running my business, it was gone. So I received a $500 check of money that I was owed from August 2001 in June 2002.
Yeah.
So what happened actually is I choked financially.
Yeah.
And I went bankrupt because I had no money because I was owed money. In 28th of February 2002, that was the last day I, closed the warehouse, liquidated everything.
And your partner?
And we parted ways. I'm like, this is what it is. And he went back to France, and I was distraught and didn't know what to do.
Ripple effect.
It was like a ripple effect. I lost everything. When I mean everything, I mean I lost everything. To the point that me, having 2 degrees, speaking 5 languages, having a resume of having done successful business, I couldn't find a job.
Yeah.
There were no jobs available. Like there was nothing. I even drove to Key West and West Palm Beach and Naples, and 50% of the stores were closed. And there was no jobs available. I ran out of money, and I was, no kidding, probably a week or 10 days away from just losing everything. I mean, losing the house and having to be on the streets. I begged, please, to a hotel if they could give me a job for anything. It was like 2 miles away from my house. And they said, no, listen, we're not hiring, but go check with the people from Valet. Okay. I went there, I asked the guys, and when you see a dog, I mean, in the cartoons, the little dog with the sad eyes, like, "Ah," well,
Yeah.
that was me. I was like, I'm just, do you have anything? And the guy was like, we're not hiring, but let me see, maybe somebody's going to be leaving. Why don't you come tomorrow? So I went there, and again, I asked, and they said, okay, let me check with headquarters. They call, they say, there's somebody that's going to be leaving next week. Why don't you come back, and we'll see what happens. So I waited a week. I went there, and they say, yeah, the guy is leaving. So here's the thing. We can only hire you temporary, under the table, 90 days. You're going to be on probation, and we're going to pay you $4.25 an hour. And then whatever you make on tips. I was like, okay, I'll take it.
Wow.
Whatever is that it is. So I had to, just do what I had to do. I started parking cars, running back and forth, and I swear to you, I had a rash in my butt crack of how much I ran and how much sweat of the running. And
What city were you in?
I was in Miami.
Yeah.
That was in Miami, and I just busted my ass off. And what happened? It was half the time, instead of 90 days, in 45 days, they offered me to be effective, and they offered me to be a shift manager. They raised my salary, and they upgraded me, and they gave me a shift in I would say a very exclusive hotel in Key Biscayne. And I kept on working for the rest of 2002. I started looking for another job more related to mine. In December 2002, I get hired to start January 1st, or January 2nd actually, on 2003, on a sales job. I started selling cleaning chemicals for all sorts of different industries. But I worked 2 days, the weekend, parking cars, and 5 days driving around making sales for this company. 5 months nonstop, working 7 days a week. I was mentally, physically burnt out, and I was, at least I was paying my bills and getting by and surviving, to put it this way. And in July, a friend of mine, and also a friend of my sister, tells me about a course that actually transformed her life around, if I wanted to check it out. And I was like, sure. And I went to check out what the Landmark Forum is about. I don't know if you heard of it. A lot of people in Los Angeles have done it. It's a life-transforming experience. Mm-hmm. And that enabled me. I did that in August 2003, and that enabled me to see that actually I did not choose my business career at 17. What chose for me were my circumstances. And what were my circumstances back when I was 17? It was, my dad was a business owner, my mom was a housewife, and I only was exposed to, doctors, because I had been to doctors, lawyers, because my dad, accountants, because of my dad, and economists and all that. So what presented to me the opportunity when I had to choose what to do for the rest of my life, it was all the conventional careers. And since I didn't have anybody in the arts, non-conventional careers like musician, actor, or pianist, or whatever was that was non-conventional, was not a possibility for me.
Right, it wasn't in your vernacular.
Exactly.
It's
it was
common.
It was like the blinders, the horse blinders, did not enable me to see something else. And I remember choosing business management and marketing because it was the least of the things that was the least worst of them all.
Right.
And when I'm sitting in the Landmark Forum, I get to realize that I'm like, oh my God, I did not choose my life. I did not choose what I want to do. And when I saw that, what was missing and what was present for me at that moment was having fun.
Interesting.
15 years have gone from the moment I had chosen my career until I was sitting doing the Landmark Forum, and I came to realize that in all those 15 years, I was not having fun.
Wow.
When I said that, I was like bawling because there was a huge chunk of my life where I really did not enjoy what I was doing. I was good at it, but I was not enjoying it. And keep on sitting over there, mulling it over, I came to a memory of me being 9 years old, watching black and white TV. You know, the one that you crank with the hand,
Pliers.
clank, clank, clank,
Yeah.
clank, clank,
Yeah.
or the pliers when
Yeah.
the button was wrong and was broken. I remember watching a black and white TV show, kids my age in this TV show, and I went back in my mind to that moment, and I was able to remember what I thought at 9 years old.
Yeah.
And the thought was, oh my God, that looks fun.
Yeah.
And
How do you do that?
was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
that's it. So it was the realization
Yeah.
that I didn't choose what I wanted to do at 17, and sitting in the Landmark Forum that flew me back to when I was 9
Yeah.
to see something I saw on TV that
Right.
looked fun, that opened up for me the possibility.
So what did you do? So what are the concrete steps then?
So once I realized that fun was missing, and I saw that this kid on TV looks to be fun, I stood up in front of those 200 people and I said, fuck it. I'm an actor. I never acted in my whole life. I'm 32 years old. I have no freaking idea what an actor means, but that's who I am because I want to have fun. That declaration set in motion for me to like satisfy that new way of being.
Yeah.
Because I have never, ever, ever like really watched TV or went to the movies or had any relationship with the industry whatsoever. But the opportunity of having fun and be filled with fun motivated me to start taking acting classes. That same week, I finished that course. So from that day that I said I am an actor, which was August 17, 2003, 30 days later, I swear to you over my
Right.
daughter's life, I was on set filming my first commercial.
Wow.
4 months after I said I'm an actor, I was filming my first SAG national commercial for Lincoln Mercury. 5 months into being an actor, I had a recurring role in a Hispanic soap opera for Telemundo. And I did TV shows over there. I done soap operas for Univision and Telemundo. And then I worked on the movie Miami Vice as a salsa dancer that unfortunately they cut me off from the movie. But,
Yeah,
you
still,
know,
it's
I got
exciting.
cast
Yeah.
by Michael Mann to
Sure.
be in the movie.
Sure.
And then I was like, okay, what's next for me? Because I've done commercials and print
Yeah.
jobs and voiceovers, and I have done soap operas in Miami. And I realized that every single role, important role from 5 and under and up was coming from LA. I was like, that's it. I got to
And
move
when
to
you
LA.
say 5 and under, you mean?
You mean more than 5 lines? I mean,
Right.
yeah, people that have 5 lines and above were coming from Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Were casting in Miami were the
5 and under.
The 5 and
Just
under.
the day players.
Yeah, but the ones that even say, yes, welcome to the restaurant. Here's
Yeah,
your seat. Or
sure.
what you would like to have, you know.
Yeah.
Those few short lines. And I was like, no, I got to move to LA. So there was no question. In less than a year and a half, in 14 months, I was already moved into the LA market. Unfortunately, 2 weeks after that, I found representation. The third week here,
that is an amazing story. I mean, because once you made up your mind, things moved very quickly. And sometimes people make up their minds and it still doesn't move quickly because they don't have the talent. So you kind of had the talent, and then the epiphany kind of came to a head, and you were on your own. You didn't have children or anything.
No.
So you were able to match that up. Seriously, when my father retired at 62, you know, he was thinking, you know, what am I going to do in my retirement, et cetera. And I remember specifically sitting at a Friday's restaurant with him and telling him, Dad, look at your hair, man. Look at your teeth. You're so handsome. You know, you should be modeling. Let's get some pictures taken. I'll take him down to my agent. And before the shots were even reproduced, he had booked like 2 jobs. Like that's what he really was meant to do. He was meant to be an actor. He was meant to be in front of the camera. And it came together in this perfect, you know, thing. And then the last 20 years of my dad's life, he worked like 40 jobs.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, you would be like on the big bulletin boards for like banking and healthcare.
Yes.
It was around
Yes.
and retirement and stuff like that.
I was able to be on billboards as well.
It's
and-
so exciting.
Yeah, I mean-
because you also are like seriously, you're very handsome.
Well, thank you for
And
that.
you could be different ethnicities. And so I feel like you just needed to be put on track.
Yes. What actually these course enabled me was not only to put fun in my life,
Yeah.
but gave me the opportunity to find what I'm meant to be doing for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
It enabled me to realize I was born to do this.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
cannot quit
Yeah.
because
It's hard, man.
This industry
Have you considered
challenges
quitting?
you.
Tell me about that.
Oof, this industry challenges you in so many different ways, and you question yourself, and you keep on going or not.
You're speaking to the choir.
Exactly.
What
but
do you do? How do you keep going?
I have to constantly reassess and reevaluate and go back to ground zero, which is my invention of the creation of I am an actor.
Yeah.
And the reason why I did that, it was, okay, things are not working. Okay, but why am I in this? Why is it that I'm doing what I'm doing? Would I rather do something else?
Yeah.
And the question always goes back to, no, I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, can I do it?
No,
Yes,
I know what you
I
mean.
can do
Right.
it, but that will take my life away.
Right,
That
it's
will
not-
kill
it's not
me.
your
That will
purpose.
take me to the grave
I hear you.
faster
I hear
than
you.
keep on doing what I'm doing and, dealing with the suffering that involves being in this industry.
Yeah.
Because we do not have a check at the end of the month.
Right. You have to get used to being uncomfortable. You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
You gotta be, yeah, exactly. You gotta be comfortable with being uncomfortable and with being in the uncertainty of when is the money gonna come.
Yeah.
And
If
from
it's ever gonna
if
come.
it's gonna come, and what jobs are you gonna book, and not and not have that anxiety,
Yeah.
that need, that oh my God, that desperation be in your auditions, be in your
Yeah.
craft.
You have to be. It has to
interfering
be
with-
like so. Like when you walk into an audition, it's not just about being talented, and it's not just about your confidence. It's also about your able to throw it away. Like that. Oh, this isn't that important, but it is important. But you can't let that on.
yeah.
So there's so many nuances.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the things we're talking before is about what I delved into, which is the understanding how thing works and the universe and energy and all that, and need or anxiety exudes an energy and gets picked up.
Yeah,
And
definitely. Oh, you can
in-
smell fear.
Oof.
You can smell people who want it just to be like famous. You can smell
Yes.
people who just want, they want something from you, and it's not always genuine.
Yes, exactly.
Let me ask you, and then we got to wrap it up. I was at the same movie premiere you were at. We talked about briefly 7 Days to Vegas,
Yes.
and there were paparazzi coming up to you from many different angles.
Yes.
With 8 by 10 and 11 by 14 photographs of you, and they're all of you in different characters. So in
Yes.
this, you're playing this detective, and then you're in this costume, and it's all on your your film and TV work. And so I want to know about that whole process, but also how do you decide what you'll sign and what you won't?
What I'll sign, meaning the headshots that they were
Yeah.
presented to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Because these are coming from paparazzi who are
Yes,
going to sell
they-
them.
I-
This isn't coming from individual fans.
no, they're coming from paparazzis, and they said, I asked, do you want me to say something? No, just your signature. I'm like, okay.
No, but I mean, how many will you sign? In other words, that they're going to turn around with that photograph and they're going to sell that.
And here's the thing, I hope they make millions of
Okay,
dollars.
okay. So-
I have no problem if I have the fortune of somebody making money because I signed them a headshot. I am very happy.
I think that's
Like-
really bright.
I mean, what goes around comes around. If that guy or those guys that made me sign my headshots or their headshots of me, and they sell them, I wish them make hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars.
Well, I guess I just don't know if people out there realize that this is how it goes. Whether you're an actor or you're a singer or performer, I host a lot of events for this bookstore. If you're an author, after an event, the paparazzi come around with, it'll either be a stack of your books or a stack of your CDs or your albums or whatever you're selling or your picture. And I'm just saying it's an interesting business that they're in, right? Because they're taking your signature and they're taking or maybe it's DVDs or whatever, and you're signing, and then they go on these sites, and we don't know what they're saying about it or where they got it, but it doesn't matter.
For me,
because
it doesn't.
Your career is kind of like a product. You're a person, but you're also a product.
Yes, you are. You are in the public eye.
You're in the public eye.
And you will not be able to control what other people say, think, or do.
Yeah.
And that's just a fact.
I'm with you. I would sign anything as well, but I just I find it fascinating, especially with authors. Sometimes people will come in with a stack of 15 books, and they'll just be like, "Will you sign my books?" And they didn't even buy them at the bookstore, and the author will be like, "Yeah, I'll sign them." Yeah. I'm always kind of like, but I guess that's right. Now here's baby Mila.
Yes, she's having an opinion about it.
I think she is. She's so beautiful, so adorable.
Thank you.
Is there anything you've done on stage or screen that you would not want her to see? I mean, I don't mean gory stuff.
No. Let me see.
Just because it's flat out bad or because it's porn? No, I'm kidding.
Let me think that I don't want her to see. Probably age-appropriate things. But if she's 18, I don't think anything I've done wouldn't want her to watch.
Yeah.
Most surely she would probably criticize the hell out of me just because I'm her dad.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've done.
She
already has an opinion.
She's such a good girl.
Listen,
Danny, thank you so much. It's a great story.
Thank you.
I really
Thank
love
you for
that
letting me
story.
share
And
it.
I've never heard that. I knew 9/11 affected many businesses and the economy. Obviously, it affected everything. But I never talked to anybody with a one-on-one story about how that really shook down.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. What happened to be a very traumatic, sad, hard experience became a tipping point for me to kind of find what I meant to be doing.
Put you on the path.
Kind of like that. And I saw a pattern in my life that actually a lot of these hitting the rocks in my path were redirection to go where I need to go.
Yeah.
And it's still happening.
Yeah.
It's like I get, bump against stuff and that redirects me
as we get older, you look back and you see this tapestry of why things happened when they did and what led to what and all that. It's just sometimes in the moment it's hard to see that big picture. But we have to have that faith, and maybe as independent contractors and never knowing where the next dollar's coming in, maybe we have a little more of that.
Oh, yeah. We have a lot of that.
All right, you guys, I got to wrap it up. I want to thank you so much for tuning into Storyworthy today. If you want to find out more about Danny, head over to DannyPardo.com and also follow him on Twitter at Danny Pardo. Let him know you liked his story, and then follow me over there as well at Storyworthy. All right, you guys, I want to thank the sponsors on the show today. Really, you guys, remember, when you support my sponsors, you're supporting me. Hooray!
Hooray!
And don't forget to check out the Patreon page as well, because I have a lot of great offers over there for you guys, like teaching you storytelling and also a lot of live shows. All right, you guys, one more time, on behalf of the very talented Danny Pardo, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
It was just awesome.
Well, thank you.
My name is Christine Blackburn, saying, make it a story-worthy week.
Thanks for joining us on the Storyworthy podcast. We'll be back next week with all new stories. Subscribe to Storyworthy on iTunes and visit the Storyworthy website at storyworthypodcast.com.
This is Sarah's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
Driving cross country with 2 young children is ambitious, to say the least. Then our check engine light came on. We pulled into O'Reilly Auto Parts and they tested it. Turned out it was a faulty sensor. They referred us to a great mechanic just down the street and we were back on the road in no time.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Membership fees apply after free trial. Cancel anytime.
Hi, it's Carl Deichler, CEO of Beachbody, and I'm giving away 10,000 free memberships a week to try our amazing Beachbody fitness and nutrition programs. Pick any program and just follow it step by step, like our 21-Day Fix program or the Ab Shredding Muscle Burns Fat program. Plus, there's free support in personalized fitness groups with our community of over 2 million members. Now is the time, so don't wait. Go to beachbody.com to claim your free membership and start feeling great.